following is a slightly historical series on the Romance of the Three Kingdoms era of China's history. Because this is based off of a video game, and myself playing it, there will be a lot of incorrect information that we will correct using the help of Wikipedia. For those of you who want to learn more about Dynasty Warriors, or the Romance of the Three Kingdoms era, I suggest reading the book. Please enjoy the following presentation. But today, we play as my favorite character, Zhang Liao. Known for his intellect as well as his might, he places honor above all else and even shows his enemies the proper courtesy in battle. We'll just jump right into it because I don't know where it's going to drop us off exactly, but from what we've seen in all the previous episodes, it is no secret that he did indeed work under Dong Zhuo, but that was not by choice. Zhang Liao was from Maiyi County, Yanmen Commandery. He was a descendant of Nie Yi, but his family name had been changed from Nie to Zhang to avoid association with that disgraced ancestor. I don't know who that is, but he must have done something bad. When he was young, he served as a minor official in his home commandery and experienced many frontier skirmishes against rebels. Towards the end of the Eastern Han, Ding Yuan, the inspector of Bing province, heard of Zhang Liao's combat skills and hired him as an assistant officer. Ding Yuan ordered Zhang Liao to lead troops from Bing to the imperial capital, Luoyang, to assist the general-in-chief He Jin. He Jin then sent him on a mission to Hebei, where Zhang Liao managed to recruit over 1,000 men to serve in He Jin's army. But while he was out, that's when Dong Zhuo seized control of the capital himself and assassinated He Jin. Therefore, when he came back to serve He Jin, it's like, well, Dong Zhuo's in charge now. I guess I'm working for him. In 192, after Lu Bu betrayed and killed Dong Zhuo, Zhang Liao served as one of his deputies and became a cavalry commandant. So let's jump in and see where it actually starts us.
I am Zhang Liao. I was born and raised amongst this chaos, which has led me to choose to live the way of the warrior. The only home I have ever known is that of the battlefield.
Which is not wrong.
I am currently serving as an officer under my lord Dong Zhuo in Luoyang, alongside another warrior who goes by the name of Lu Bu. Lu Bu is truly one of the greatest warriors I have ever encountered. Hopefully, one day I'll be just as great a warrior as he is.
Zhang Liao, what are you doing working for Dong Zhuo? I guess you're just like me. Looking for a good fight, not much else. Now we're off to Sishui Gate, with that coalition. Looks like the best they got is Sun Jian. He's nothing. No match for me, and probably no trouble for you either.
I was really hoping we would just skip to Hulao Gate because, Zhang Liao was important in a lot of battles, and I wanted to experience different battles. And considering we've played as Lu Bu and Diao Chan in the last couple of episodes, I did not want to do Sishui into Hulao into Jiapi for my first 3 battles again.
I hope there's at least one more person out there worth fighting. And at least there's plenty of fodder for us both to take on. Come on, Zhang Liao, let's go. So
I'm hoping after Sishui Gate we just skip to Jiapi.
Have you learned your lesson yet? As long as Hua Xiong controls Sishui Gate, you shall not pass. It is laughable to think that I would let such filth even approach Lord Dong Zhuo.
I keep hearing Hua Xiong, and I think of the croissant.
But no matter how weak they are, I cannot hold them off forever. They will surely try to press the attack before long. I must find a way to keep them at bay.
I successfully defended Sishui Gate, but the Allied forces went past the mountains and have managed to reach Hulao Gate, which lies just before the capital of Luoyang. Although I serve him, my lord's actions are indeed distasteful. I cannot help but agree with the Allied forces' intentions, but as long as I am a warrior, I must remain loyal to whom I serve. I pray that I be blessed with a worthy opponent in the coming battle.
These stupid weaklings don't know what's good for them. I guess they must hate Dongzhuo pretty bad. This is starting to get old already. Better clean them up for good this time.
I did not want to waste my time on Hulao Gate.
Hulao Gate is surrounded. It's gonna fall any second. Zhang Liao, force your way onto the road nearby and teach these punks a lesson. I'll stand in front of the gate and beat down anyone who comes near. We'll push them back and cut down their leader, Yuan Shao. Come on, go and teach them not to mess with us.
Yeah, as we know and can be reiterated.
Run if you value your life.
Last, there's no other way around. Focus your strength up front and break down Hulao Gate.
As can be reiterated before I was so rudely interrupted, Zhang Liao was indeed a part of the Dongzhuo forces. Again, not really by choice, but by circumstance.
Oh, that's quite impressive.
And there really isn't much else to add other than the fact that, yes, obviously he was at these battles, survived, and would later follow Lu Bu.
Not too bad. I see you are worthy of your reputation. I pray that you shall accept the challenge of Zhang Liao.
So, Dongzhuo does have some worthy officers. The name is Guan Yu, and I'll be happy to accept your challenge.
So as we know from the Lu Bu side story, I keep getting rudely interrupted. But as we know from the Lu Bu side story,
Go and attack the enemy camp.
so many people are talking, shut up. As we know from the Lu Bu side story,
Fall back!
the three sworn brothers attack Lu Bu and have 50 duels with Lu Bu. Whether or not they actually meet Zhang Liao at any points, I don't actually know. I think we'll get a break from the people talking. Anyway, I don't see anything written down that Zhang Liao had a 1v1 versus Guan Yu, but it is likely that these officers did, you know, run into each other at some point. It's not unlikely.
The Allied forces are nothing but common fodder. If they get knocked around a bit, they give up and go home. They might as well not have even bothered. Now we must turn our attention inwards. Lately there has been an air of unrest around me. We must bring an end to the source of this malcontent before it can spread.
We managed to save Hulao Gate, but our lord was killed by the hands of Lu Bu and Diao Chan. For a lord to be killed by his own trusted vassal. As a result, Lu Bu was branded a traitor and forced to leave the capital. I joined him, and we wandered about aimlessly until he managed to seize Shapi Castle from Liu Bei and made it his new home. I do not think Lu Bu's actions are just. However, I still yearn to test myself, to see how far I can go and how much more powerful I can become. I must continue in search of my path.
Zhang Liao, you'd be in a good position now if you'd stayed in the capital. Well, whatever. Right now, we've got to defend ourselves here at Shapi Castle. So, Liu Bei, you ran crying to Cao Cao to help take back your castle, and now you're planning a dirty water attack. Not such a saint now, after all, are you? Zhang Liao, you go fight outside the castle. You shouldn't have any trouble holding back these swine. Cao Cao's their leader. So if you see him, make sure you bring me his head.
So one little aside about this battle, we've seen this battle a half a dozen times at this point, we know what happens, but In 198, Lu Bu's men were ordered to buy military horses. However, all the gold was plundered by Liu Bei's army on the way. Therefore, Zhang Liao fought Liu Bei's forces along with Gao Shun, which prompted Liu Bei to ask Cao Cao for reinforcement. Cao Cao dispatched Zhao Hodun to help Liu Bei. However, Gao Shun and Zhang Liao jointly defeated Zhao Hodun and then jointly defeated Liu Bei at Pei Cheng, which is going to be this battle.
Their army. It's filled with officers of talent and valor. Lu Bu, do you think that we could really defeat them?
Doesn't matter. Their numbers make no difference. By opposing me, they are marching to their own slaughter!
So you can see we're stationed on the north side of the river. That's also where Gao Shun is stationed. And if you remember from the Zhao Hodun episode, that's where they would go to launch the water attack. But, you know, before the castle or the Battle of Xiapi, I can assume that this is where this side of the battle took place. Like, we've had battles before where they are a lot larger than they are, you know, seen as in the game. Like the Battle of Guan Yu was a very long and hard siege with multiple castles, and that is kind of represented. So here in this battle, it is, again, kind of represented that, you know, oh, across the river, Zhang Liao defeated Liu Bei and Zhao Hodun. That kind of thing. Just a little small thing.
So, you must be Zhang Liao. What are you doing together with Lu Bu in the service of such madness? Join us. If you value your honor, there is no way you can remain with him.
Guan Yu, can you only see Lu Bu as violent? Behind his violent nature, I sensed a hint of honor. As long as there is a flicker of honor within Lu Bu, my loyalty shall not waver.
So they have escaped with their tails between their legs. Cao Cao and Liu Bei are no match for me. As long as Red Hair and Xiapi Castle are mine, I fear no man. I have no need for strategy. No matter how many times they attack, the results will be the same. I just need to prepare the castle's defenses and wait for them to come.
So we're probably going to get the cutscene after this, so I'll just wait for it.
Though we were victorious at Xiapi, Lu Bu fell victim to Cao Cao's strategy and was killed. From that moment on, I became an officer in Cao Cao's army.
It's a little unusual that we're not getting the cutscene of the surrender of Xiapi, but long short of it is Lu Bu was acting like Lu Bu does in the video games, and Zhang Liao goes, "Ah, Lu Bu, stop being such a little bitch." And Cao Cao's like, "I like this man." And that is, although possibly not fully historical, in the Romance of the Three Kingdoms, when Zhang Liao was captured and brought before Cao Cao after the battle, he scorned Lu Bu for his cowardly behavior. He showed no fear, and even remarked that Cao Cao was lucky to have survived the blaze at Puyang, referring to an earlier battle in which Cao Cao was almost killed. He was furious and drew his sword and wanted to kill Zhang Liao, but Guan Yu and Liu Bei stopped him and pleaded with him to spare Zhang. Guan Yu even knelt down. Cao Cao laughed, sheathed his sword, and said, "I also know Wen Yuan," which is Zhang Liao's courtesy name, "is a loyal and righteous man. I was just testing him." He then personally released Zhang Liao from his bonds, took off his coat and wrapped it around Zhang, and offered him a seat. Zhang Liao was moved by Cao Cao's sincerity, so he submitted to Cao Cao. The Zhangguoshi does not mention anything about this incident, which is the Zhangguoshi is the actual historical records. It just simply stated that Zhang Liao surrendered to Cao Cao and was commissioned as a general of the household and received the title of a secondary marquis. It remains unknown whether he did participate in the Battle of Jiapi or not. So, that's actually a tidbit I didn't know existed. It's unknown if Zhang Liao was even at this battle, but with Lu Bu's surrender, he surrenders too, but he wasn't there? Question mark? That's a single line on this Wikipedia I did not expect to read.
Though I change masters, I will still continue to pursue the way of the warrior. By serving my new lord, I am sure that I will have many opportunities to do so. We have just lost the Battle of Qi Bi to the combined forces of Sun Quan and Liu Bei. A true warrior learns from his defeats to become stronger, and so shall I.
So that means we're also skipping the Battle of Guan Yu, which, he wasn't there at, but Zhang Liao was amongst the campaigns in the northeastern parts of China against Yuan Shao's heirs and the Wuhan. So I'll read this part. In early 201, after Cao Cao defeated his northern rival Yuan Shao at the Battle of Guan Yu, he sent Zhang Liao to pacify the various counties in Lu State, and then ordered him and Zhao Huiyuan to lead an army to attack a minor warlord, Chang Ji, in Donghai Commandery. Zhang Liao and Zhao Huiyuan besieged Chang Ji for months, but were unable to defeat him and their supplies were running out, so they considered retreating. Zhang Liao told Zhao Huiyuan, "Over the past several days, whenever we attacked Chang Ji, I noticed he paid careful attention to me. He is also running short of arrows. I suspect he's having doubts. Therefore, he isn't doing his best to resist us. Wouldn't it be better if I managed to persuade him to surrender?" He then sent a message to Chang Ji and asked to speak to him. When Zhang Liao met, he told the latter that Cao Cao rewarded those who submitted to him. Convinced by Zhang Liao, Chang Ji agreed to surrender to Cao Cao. Zhang Liao then went to Chang Ji's home alone and visited his family. Chang Ji was delighted and he followed Zhang Liao and Zhao Huiyuan back to meet Cao Cao. When Cao Cao heard about how Zhang Liao persuaded Chang Ji to surrender, he scolded Zhang Liao. "This isn't what a great general should do." Zhang Liao replied, "I was certain that Chang Ji wouldn't dare to harm me because he knows that I am authorized by the imperial court, and also because he is influenced by the prestige of you, my lord." After that were the campaigns against Yuan Shao's heirs in 202. He accompanied Cao Cao to attack Yuan Shao's son Yuan Tan and Yuan Shang at Liyang. He was promoted to acting Central Resolute General for his contributions in battle. Later on, he followed Cao Cao to attack Yuan Shang at Yi, but was unable to conquer the city, so they retreated in mid-203. After Cao Cao returned to the imperial capital, he sent Zhang Liao and Yue Jin to lead an army to conquer Yin'an County and relocate its residents to the south of the Yellow River. In early 204, Zhang Liao followed Cao Cao to attack Yuan Shang at Yi again and succeeded in capturing the city. Zhang Liao also led troops to Zhao State in Ji province, where he persuaded the Heishan bandits and other opposing forces to surrender to Cao Cao. In 205, Zhang Liao accompanied Cao Cao to attack Yuan Tan at Nanpi, and they defeated Yuan Tan. Which, it's kind of funny hearing these names, and these are battles that I explicitly remember doing in like Dynasty Warriors 7, Dynasty Warriors 8, especially, I think it was Dynasty Warriors 7 Empires. Those northeastern battles, like the ones we had against Gongsun Zan, the ones that we're not doing against all these Yuan Shao children, were pretty fun battles. A little upset that I don't even know if they're in this game, but Zhang Liao does have a dense story. It's okay to skip a couple of battles. I always hate it when we skip the Battle of Qi Bi. But anyway, in around 206, Cao Cao sent Zhang Liao to counter the unrest in some of the counties in Jiangjia Commandery. Zhang Liao achieved success and returned to his garrison at Linying. He was promoted from a secondary marquis to a marquis of a chief village. In 207, Zhang Liao followed Cao Cao on a campaign against Yuan Shang, who had allied the Wuhan tribes in northern China. When Cao Cao was preparing to attack the enemy in Liucheng, Zhang Liao warned him that Jing's province governor Liu Biao would take advantage of his absence from Zhu to send Liu Bei to attack Zhu and take control of the capital. However, Cao Cao felt that Liu Biao would not send Liu Bei to attack Zhu because he did not trust Liu Bei, so he proceeded with the campaign against Yuan Shao. When they encountered the enemy, Zhang Liao displayed great fervor and strongly urged Cao Cao to launch an attack. Cao Cao was so impressed that he passed him his personal signal flag. Zhang Liao led the assault on the Wuhan at the White Wolf Mountain, defeated them, and executed the chieftain. After that, he would suppress a mutiny and a rebellion. When Cao Cao was preparing to attack Jing province in 208, he ordered Zhang Liao to garrison at Changshe and wait to mobilize. Some of the soldiers started a mutiny, set fire to the camp, and caused a panic. Zhang Liao told his subordinates, "Don't make any move yet. There isn't a single company whose members are all involved in the mutiny, so the mutineers must be trying to cause chaos and make everyone else join them." He ordered all the soldiers who were not involved to remain in their positions and sit down, and then led his personal guards to the main command post to restore order. The leaders of the mutiny were executed. During the Battle of Red Cliff, which we are skipping right now, Zhang Liao was stationed in Changsha. In 209, after the battle, Qianlan and Mei Chong started a rebellion in Lu County. Cao Cao sent 2 separate forces to suppress the rebellion. Zhang Liao went with Zhang He and Niu Gai as his deputies to attack Qianlan. Mei Chong pretended to surrender to Yu Jin and then led his men to join Qianlan at Mount Tianzhu as soon as Yu Jin and Zhang Ba left. The paths leading up the mountain were narrow and dangerous to travel on. When Zhang Liao wanted to attack the rebels, his subordinates advised him against it because of the hazardous terrain. However, Zhang Liao said, "This is where one-to-one fighting will take place. Only the courageous can advance forward." He then ordered his troops to make camp at the foot of the mountain. They attacked the rebels, defeated them, and killed Qianlan and Mei Cheng. When Cao Cao was assessing the respective contributions of his generals in the campaign, he said the general who defeats bandits, Zhang Liao, was the one who ascended the mountain, traveled through hazardous terrain, and defeated Qianlan and Mei Cheng. As a reward for his success, Zhang Liao was granted acting imperial authority and given additional taxable households. So, he wasn't at the Battle of Chibi anyway, but he was putting down some rebellions.
Zhang Liao, you are a warrior among warriors. Your search for a worthy master is over. You may continue along the path to perfection under my guidance. Our forces must retreat from Chibi at once. This is unfortunate, but I must live to fight another day. I cannot afford to die until I have fulfilled my dreams of conquest. This is a battle to ensure our retreat, not to kill the enemy commander. Create an escape route for me, but do not endanger your own life. I'm relying on you to keep me alive.
So, it doesn't seem like, because he wasn't involved in the Battle of Chibi, it's likely he didn't help the escape from Chibi, but they're putting something here because it seems like they're going to do, after this, would be the Battle of Hefei and the Battle of Fan Castle. So, I'm happy with that. I don't like skipping the Battle of Chibi, but doing this battle is okay. I would have preferred the Battle of Guan Yu to represent the battles in northeast China in order to pacify that region, but, you know, however these games want to line things up, that's whatever.
Hurry! We must rescue our master!
Plus, I won't give this game shit for, like, not having some battles, because there are so many characters, there are so many battles, they can't fit everything into the game, especially with the technology of the time.
Lord Guan Yu, do you intend to ignore the debt you owe our lord? Or will that horse, that wild red hair, change you into a demon as well? Go. I give you my thanks, Zhang Liao. I almost made the wrong choice. A choice that I would have surely regretted. We barely managed to escape. This battle all came about because of my carelessness. We should be happy that we escaped with our lives. We almost didn't. We shall have our vengeance for this defeat. We must quickly build up our military strength and crush Liu Bei and Sun Quan. They shall pay for incurring my wrath.
Although we suffered heavy losses at Chibi, our Lord rebuilt his forces with amazing speed. So be the strength of one who is driven by the heavens. Control of the land is now under contest by Liu Bei, Sun Quan, and our Lord. Sun Quan has begun marching his troops towards my position at Hefei. The enemy's numbers are overwhelming, but there is nothing to fear. I have seen that sheer numbers mean nothing in this time of chaos. I have no choice but to destroy this Wu army. So after the defeat at the Battle of Chibi, Cao Cao left behind Zhang Liao, Yue Jian, and Li Dian with about 7,000 troops to guard Hefei from attacks by Sun Quan. Around 214, before Cao Cao went on a campaign against the warlord Zhang Lu in Hanzhong Commandery, he instructed Zhe Ci, I think, to pass a sealed letter to 3 generals at Hefei. He wrote, "Open when the enemy comes." Later that year, Sun Quan led 100,000 troops to attack Hefei. So they opened the letter. It read, "If Sun Quan comes, Generals Zhang and Li will go out to fight the enemy, while General Yue will defend the fortress. Zhe Ci will stay out of the battle." They were confused after reading the letter. Zhang Liao told Yue Jin and Li Dian, "Our lord is away on a campaign. By the time his reinforcements reach here, we are already done for. So he is actually instructing us to take advantage of the situation. When the enemy has just arrived and isn't fully gathered yet, to attack them and devastate their morale so we can calm our men and strengthen our defenses. Victory or defeat, it all depends on this battle. Why are the two of you still hesitating?" The 3 generals then worked together and recruited over 800 elite soldiers that night and prepared for the battle the following day. At dawn, Zhang Liao donned his armor, carried a Ji, and led his men to attack the enemy formation. He killed tens of enemy soldiers and 2 officers, shouted his own name, and broke through the barriers until he reached Sun Quan's command post.
Zhang Liao, thanks to you, I am still here today. You have my deepest gratitude. I hope that you will continue to support me and our cause. Wu has begun to advance their army towards Hefei, knowing that our forces there are weak. I must hurry. Lead an army there to see to its defense. There are several bases located throughout the area. Use them to proceed slowly and attack the enemy. Zhang Liao, I am counting on you to turn the battle in our favor.
The Wu fleet is advancing north and will soon arrive here at Hefei.
The enemy outnumbers us greatly. It is too dangerous to risk an attack.
Victory in battle is not won through superior numbers. Guan Yu, Chibi, remember them well. I, Zhang Liao, shall crush all those who oppose me.
I was just thinking of the names alongside Zhang Liao in this battle. Yue Jin and Li Dian. I'm pretty sure in the later games they actually do get their own characters and they're not just like background generals. And I'm pretty sure they become Ikemen. Yeah. Yue Jin gets hook swords and it's fucking cool. He was one of my favorite characters. Yeah, like handsome men. Hey, look at this boy.
Whoa.
Yeah, he was a cool guy. Yue Jin, and then who was the other one? Li Dian, Dynasty Warriors.
Ooh,
yeah.
Yeah.
And he gets like a giant fucking glaive. Like, I really appreciate that the games do give some of these other guys, you know, the chance to shine in their own right. Because I remember when I was playing Dynasty Warriors 8 Extreme Legends for the first time, you know, I'm playing through the story, and I start playing as Jian, and I'm like, who the hell is this guy? I don't think I've ever heard of him before. But, you know, you see his name a lot, and he's usually one of the, like, background generals, which that just kind of goes into what I was saying earlier about how, you know, they don't have... This game only has like 48 playable characters. This game also has only so many battles to do. It's not going to have every single battle. But as that's the thing to appreciate about the more modern Dynasty Warriors games, is that they do get bigger and better, but I really feel like the dropping the individual storylines really fumbles what makes Dynasty Warriors so cool too. It's like trading one good thing for another. Like, I really like the designs for Jian and Jian, but is it worth dropping some of the other, like, stories that you would play? But on the other hand, those stories are, you know, more individually tightly wrapped. Like, you go through the entire Wei story and it doesn't have any of these fake endings. It doesn't not kill the people involved, but it goes through the entire thing. The reason why I wanted to do the series in this way is because if I did it through the entire, you know, story one battle by one battle from the perspective of the respective kingdoms, that doesn't really give enough time to appreciate the individuals in those battles. And so that's why I wanted to do it like this. So maybe when I'm done with all of this, I'll play Dynasty Warriors 8 again, just to play through those storylines, so you can get the full picture.
Forward for honor! With my spear, I will sever the threads of Wu's destiny! Everyone, procure a neutral base and prepare for the enemy!
So the thing about this battle too is that in this game,
the enemy is advancing toward
which, you know, to go back to what I was saying about those individual people and getting to know them individually, in the future games, what they also do is get rid of the fourth weapons for each character. And what the fourth weapons are is, you know, you see me unlock weapons, you see me go through like, oh, which weapons are shit, which weapons are good, which weapons are, you know, usable. And the thing about the fourth weapons is they basically combine all of the good things and have such amazing stats that, like, you need to have them if you really want to experience the full power of your favorite characters. So this battle in particular is the battle where you would get the fourth weapon for Zhang Liao. And the way you do that is, you may notice, I don't know if it'll actually happen because I'm not on a horse, so I can't actually fly around the battlefield like I need to. But what you have to do is basically instill fear in the soldiers of Wu 3 times in like 5 minutes. And you high-key need a horse so you can just fly around the battlefield and actually be able to do that.
This one's pretty strong.
So you see that right there? The Wu soldiers are amazed at Zhang Liao's might. You have to make that trigger 3 times in order to find the fourth weapon.
Now!
At the same time.
No good. Too far out of our league.
Oh, there's the second one. Wu soldiers are in awe of my might.
Huh? Hey!
Is that one of ours?
His headband is clipping through his torso.
It's time to heat things up, and here I go.
Did no one think to fix that his headband was clipping through his entire chest? Yeah, back in the day too, we had, you know, the whole printout of how to unlock everyone's fourth weapons and all that stuff. We didn't do it for everybody because we didn't really care about all the other characters. But we did it for all of our favorites. There's no way what.
I am Zhang Liao. Face me and be slaughtered.
It's a demon. Help us.
Yeah, see, there was
Here in my army all by himself.
There was the third time, and if we were playing on, I think, normal or hard mode, that's when the fourth weapon would have been spawned.
Attack! Don't give them a chance to breathe.
But it is a very tight time limit, too. So yes, in terms of this battle, after breaking through the barriers and reaching Sun Quan's command post, Sun Quan was shocked and his subordinates were unsure of what to do. He went to the top of a knoll, armed himself with a long G, and stood there and did not dare move when Zhang Liao challenged him to come down and fight. When Sun Quan saw that Zhang Liao did not have many soldiers left with him, he ordered forces to surround Zhang and his men. However, Zhang Liao fought fiercely, succeeding in breaking out of the encirclement.
I must approach this calmly. Time to retreat.
Enemy officer defeated.
After breaking the encirclement, his remaining men who were still trapped shouted, "Are you abandoning us?" To which he turned back into the encirclement to rescue his men.
Excellent.
Dude's a badass.
Outnumbered, we defeated the massive Blue Army. And Zhang Liao, your might on the battlefield is beyond compare.
Sun Quan and his men were all stunned by Zhang Liao's valor and did not dare stand in his way. The skirmish lasted from dawn until the afternoon, and the morale of Sun Quan's army had fallen significantly. Zhang Liao returned to Hefei Fortress and strengthened his defenses. The defenders felt much more at ease and were very impressed with him. Sun Quan was unable to conquer Hefei after several days, so he withdrew his forces. While Sun Quan was retreating, Zhang Liao suddenly launched a surprise attack and inflicted a crushing defeat on the enemy at Xiaoyao Ford. He came very close to capturing Sun Quan a few times during the battle. Cao Cao was very impressed with Zhang Liao and promoted him to general who attacks the east. In 217, when Cao Cao launched another campaign against Sun Quan, he passed by Hefei along the way, visited the site of the Battle of the Xiaoyao Ford, and spent a long time in reflection at the location. He increased the number of troops under Zhang Liao's command, and then relocated Zhang's unit to a garrison at Zhuchao.
As long as Zhang Liao is in Hefei, Wu will not try to attack there again. Thanks to you, the path to our domination has become clear.
I was really hoping for the Battle of Fan Castle after this.
It was during the final days of the year 200 AD when the Han Dynasty saw its end. Its demise ushered in a new era of chaos, brought on by several regional lords vying to rule China. There were those who sought absolute power, as well as those who fought for justice, and some simply fought for the sake of their beliefs. Many would rise and fall in their attempts to dominate the land. Zhang Liao, from the land of Yanmen. He was a skilled warrior and loyal officer who was always calm, but was like a beast on the battlefield. Unable to find his destiny, Zhang Liao seemed bound to serve under unworthy masters. When Dong Zhuo took over the capital, Zhang Liao joined his army and met Lu Bu. Later on, Dong Zhuo was killed by Lu Bu, who then left the capital. Realizing just how powerful Lu Bu was, Zhang Liao next decided to join him. After seizing Jiapi Castle, however, the two were relentlessly attacked by Cao Cao and Liu Bei. Even the mighty Lu Bu would be defeated by Cao Cao's great strategy. Zhang Liao's life was spared, however, and he swore an allegiance to Cao Cao. He served his new lord and aided him in his conquests. In 214 AD, Wu approached Zhang Liao at Hefei with a massive army. Zhang Liao led his small force and cut into the enemy's ranks, meeting up with Cao Cao's reinforcements and destroying the enemy. After this battle, the people throughout Wu would know the name of Zhang Liao. His presence was so intimidating that the mere mention of his name inspired awe in all who heard it. Zhang Liao had finally found a lord worth serving and was truly content. These tales, long forgotten in the flows of time, are about the legends of which no one can recall.
So I don't mind that they're ending his story after the Battle of Hefei, but there was a lot that he did and wasn't represented here. So what they should have done was, you know, if they don't have those northeastern campaigns, they probably should have just skipped to the Battle of Hulao Gate, Battle of Jia, like instead of Sishui, do the Battle of Hulao Gate, do the Battle of Jiapi, and then instead of escape from Chibi, which he was not related to at all, they could have done the Battle of Guan Yu to represent those northeastern campaigns, which I don't know if those fights are in this game. I know they are in future games, but I don't remember if they're in this game, so they could have had him at the Battle of Guan Yu to represent defeating Yuan Shao's children after the Battle of Guan Yu. After that, do the Battle of Hefei, and then after that, he was at the Battle of Fan Castle. In 219, when Cao Cao's general Cao Ren was being besieged at Fan Castle by Liu Bei's general Guan Yu, Cao Cao was away at the Hanzhong campaign, so he ordered his generals to lead troops from their respective garrisons to reinforce. Around the time, Sun Quan had pledged allegiance to Cao Cao, so Zhang Liao was able to lead his forces from Juchao to help Cao Ren. However, before Zhang Liao reached Fan, Cao Cao's general Zhu Huang had already defeated Guan Yu and lifted the siege, so he wasn't there, but he could have been there, which, in the game at least, the Battle of Fan Castle is another huge battle, and with that personal storyline they were writing for Zhang Liao and Guan Yu, that would have been a perfect way to end that little storyline they had, put a little bow on it, and have Zhang Liao kill Guan Yu, you know, something like that. Zhang Liao would then rendezvous with Cao Cao, who had returned after being defeated in the Hanzhong campaign at Mo Bei. Cao Cao rode in a carriage and went out to personally receive Zhang Liao. He then relocated Zhang Liao to the garrison at Chen Commandery. Cao Cao would then die in early 220 and was succeeded by Cao Pi as the king of Wei. Cao Pi promoted Zhang Liao to general of the vanguard and awarded him 1,000 rolls of silk and 10,000 hu of grain. When Sun Quan renounced his allegiance to Wei, Cao Pi ordered Zhang Liao to garrison at Hefei again to guard against possible attacks from Wu, and increased his marquis rank to marquis of a chief district. Cao Pi also gave Zhang Liao's mother a carriage, sent soldiers to serve as guards in Zhang Liao's residence, and invited Zhang Liao's mother to visit the capital. When Zhang Liao's mother arrived, Cao Pi went out of the city and received her. All of the officials who were there lined the path and paid respect to her. So Zhang Liao, big fucking deal. Like, even the king was paying respect to his mom. In late 220, Cao Pi usurped the throne from Emperor Jian, ended the Eastern Han, and established the state of Cao Wei with himself as the new emperor. After his coronation, Cao Pi promoted Zhang Liao from a district marquis to a county marquis under the title Marquis of Jinyang, and increased the number of taxable households to 2,600. In 221, Zhang Liao traveled to the palace for an audience with Cao Pi, who brought him to a newly constructed hall and asked him for his opinion on how to conquer Wu. Cao Pi compared Zhang Liao to Xiao Hu. I don't know who that is. He also added a new mansion constructed for Zhang Liao and invited Zhang Liao's mother to live there. All the foot soldiers who accompanied Zhang Liao in the battles against Wu were reassigned to the Hu Ben unit of Imperial Guards. In 221, after Sun Quan pledged allegiance to Wei again, Cao Pi reassigned Zhang Liao from Hefei to garrison at Yongqiu, where Zhang Liao fell sick. When Cao Pi learnt that Zhang Liao was ill, he sent Liu Ye to visit Zhang Liao and bring along an imperial physician to treat him. He ordered the Hu Ben guards to serve as messengers to constantly update him on Zhang Liao's condition, to the point where the messengers frequently encountered each other along the way while they were traveling between Cao Pi and Zhang Liao's locations. Later on, before Zhang Liao had recovered, Cao Pi visited him, held his hand, gave him an imperial robe as a gift, and ordered his servants to prepare imperial cuisine for him. Zhang Liao returned to the garrison after his condition improved. After that, in 222, Sun Quan would break ties with Wei and declare himself the independent ruler of his eastern Wu state. Cao Pi ordered Zhang Liao and Cao Zhu to lead a naval fleet to Hailing, directly facing Wu territory across the river. Sun Quan was afraid when he heard that Zhang Liao was there, but he warned his generals, Zhang Liao may be ill, but he is still a foe to be reckoned with. Be careful. Zhang Liao and the other Wei generals initially defeated the Wu forces led by Lu Fan, but the battle eventually turned in favor of the Wu forces, and the Wei forces withdrew. Afterward, however, his condition worsened and he died not long later in Jiangdu. Cao Pi cried when he learnt of Zhang Liao's death. He awarded Zhang Liao the posthumous title Marquis Gong, which literally means resolute marquis. In 225, in commemoration of Zhang Liao and Li Dian for their contributions at the Battle of Xiaoyao Ford, which was the Battle of Hefei, in this game at least, Cao Pi issued an imperial decree. During the Battle of Hefei, Zhang Liao and Li Dian defeated an enemy force of 100,000 with only 800 foot soldiers. There has never been anything like this before in the history of warfare. They can be referred to as our state's claws and teeths for their success in breaking the enemy's morale. I hereby increase the number of taxable households in Zhang Liao and Li Dian's marquis states by 100 each, and award a son of each of them the title of a secondary marquis. Zhang Liao had an elder brother, Zhang Fan, who was awarded the title of Marquis in 220 before Cao Pi ended the Han Dynasty. Zhang Liao's son, Zhang Hu, succeeded his father as the next Marquis of Jian and held the rank of Lieutenant General in Wei. After Zhang Hu died, his son Zhang Tong inherited the peerage. Zhang Liao had at least one other son apart from Zhang Hu, because that unnamed son of his who received the title of secondary marquis in 225 per Cao Pi's decree was most probably not Zhang Hu. So, I learned a lot about Zhang Liao today. I didn't realize he was so beloved by Cao Cao and Cao Pi that they cried about his death and invited his mother to the capital, built mansions for Zhang Liao, and that's miles and miles and miles of telling you how awesome this guy was. My favorite character.
Not yet. My skills, I have yet to perfect them completely. However, when the time comes that I do finally perfect them, the chaos will be over. Until that time comes, Zhang Liao will not rest!
And that is the story of Zhang Liao. In terms of the book, The Romance of the Three Kingdoms, it says here that his fictionalized persona is generally similar to his historical counterpart. Some fictitious elements were included in the novel, such as what I told you earlier about Zhang Liao's surrender at the Battle of Xiapi, but other than that, there really weren't anything else added about him, because, I mean, they just had to write him one-to-one in Romance of the Three Kingdoms, and he's still an amazing character. One thing that wasn't mentioned, but I did put in the title of the stream, was that he is one of the 5 elite generals. They refer to the 5 military generals serving under the warlord Cao Cao. Those 5 were Yu Jin, Zhang He, Yue Jin, Zhang Liao, and Zhu Huang. Those were the 5 elite generals under Cao Cao. After writing the biographies of these generals in the Records of the Three Kingdoms, the Songguoshi, Chen Shou commented, throughout Cao Cao's military exploits, these 5 were the creme de la creme of the best generals of that era. And I can assure you, he probably did not say creme de la creme in the year 200. But there's probably a Chinese phrase that imitates the same feeling. So that'll be it for this episode. The next episode is going to be, let's see, we did the bonus episode of Diao Chan most recently, and then, let's see, I forget, am I going Wei Shu Wu or Wei Wu Shu? No, I just did Zhuge Liang. Now I'm doing, or now I just did Zhang Liao. So next, we are going to actually skip Sun Jian because his story is the one that has 8 missions in this game. So basically, in each of these, you know, kingdoms, there's one guy that has 8 missions, that being Cao Cao for Wei, which is right there, Liu Bei for Shu, and for Wu, that's Sun Jian. Even though it's a little bit backwards, it should have been Sun Chuan. But I'm not sure why they did it that way. But either way, let's see, we just did, actually the previous episode was Sun Shang Jiang. So Sun Shang Jiang, Zhang Liao, we're gonna go back to Shu for Ma Chao. Ma Chao, a young officer often known as Ma Chao the Splendid, the eldest son of Ma Tong of Zhiliang. He fights with a strong sense of justice. We've seen him a handful of times already in Cao Cao's northwestern campaigns and have talked a little bit at length about his battles in the Zhu Chu episode, I remember specifically. But Ma Chao is a really cool character and probably one of the best characters in Shu. So that is who we're going to be doing tomorrow afternoon, Friday afternoon. Later tonight, we will be back streaming with the NFL draft. We're gonna see who the Giants draft. We're gonna hope that they draft the right person. I'm kind of hoping that they don't trade down for more picks because I'd rather get a wide receiver or a quarterback early on. I don't want them to sell the house for, you know, a quarterback. So we'll be enjoying the NFL draft later tonight. Let's see who is around to raid.